There's been a lot of hype behind the new Deadpool and Wolverine movie, but it got me thinking. I remember watching an old cartoon where these two superheroes clashed, and that was the first time that I remember seeing Deadpool and Wolverine together. So before we watch the movie, how about we understand more about the lore itself and the history? The cool thing about Deadpool and Wolverine is they both have the same kind of healing factor. That always made me intrigued with this duo. So sit back, relax, subscribe if you want to. If not, I still love y'all, and this is the history of Logan and Wade Wilson. Wolverine first appeared in 1974's Incredible Hulk number 181, and Deadpool didn't pop up in comics until New Mutants number 98 in 1991. However, the two characters are inextricably linked, mostly because even though their temperaments are polar opposites, Deadpool and Wolverine's histories are very both similar. The Weapon X project experimented on both of them. Wolverine was given his adamantium skeleton by the same group, and Deadpool had Wolverine's own healing factors granted into his DNA while battling cancer by Weapon X, but in most ways, this is where the similarities end. Let's dive into Wolverine and Deadpool's strange relationship and history, both in and outside of Marvel Comics before Deadpool and Wolverine hits theaters in July. Now, let's look at Wolverine and Deadpool's first comics together. In the regular Marvel Comics continuity, Wolverine and Deadpool first met in 1994's Wolverine number 88. That issue saw Deadpool trashing an apartment after failing to get his girlfriend back from her new guy, Garrison Kane. This brought Wolverine into the picture, as Kane was his buddy. After trading the usual verbal jabs, which probably went a little something like this, I would think. Uh-oh, what's going on with that boo-boo?
I lost my healing factor. Long story.
Oh, poor little Wolverine, where were you when you lost it?
I'm gonna stab you.
Then come the actual jabs, with Wade stabbing Logan through the chest with two swords. And that set the tone for Wolverine and Deadpool's entire relationship in Marvel Comics. Insulting each other, stabbing one another, getting back up again, and doing it all over. Rinse, wash, and repeat. But although Wolverine and Deadpool met for the first time in Wolverine number 88, it's also worth noting that they briefly shared the comic page a year before the issue was published. In 1993's Toys R Us X-Men Premium Edition, the X-Men encounters Deadpool for the first time. Logan and Wade don't actually talk or fight, but they do share a big group panel together, so it's kinda sorta counts as Deadpool and Wolverine's first comic book meeting, I guess, but not really. Despite these temporal truths, years later, retcon to Marvel's universe determined that Wolverine and Deadpool had met much earlier than that, in universe at least. In 2008, Marvel released a new history for Deadpool and Wolverine. The pair's first fight actually happened when the Winter Soldier, still a brainwashed Hydra agent, hired Wade to take out Logan. This was all in an effort to draw out Dakin, Wolverine's son.
I am your father.
Who ultimately saved him. This occurred in 2008's Wolverine origin story Deep End. Now let's look at the best Wolverine and Deadpool comics to read in order to understand the pair's history. Deadpool and Wolverine have alternately fought and then teamed up in several comics over the past 3 decades, which makes for one interesting trip down comics history lane. In one infamous fight in 1999's Deadpool number 27, Wade fought Logan as a form of therapy for depression. The Deadpool vs. Old Man Logan miniseries, meanwhile, found Wade Wilson getting into it with the cranky gray-haired version of Logan. In Wolverine/Deadpool the Decoy, a two-faced killer robot from space wanted to kill Jean Grey for all of her Phoenix shenanigans. Since she was dead at that time, Wolverine dressed up Deadpool as Jean Grey as a distraction until he defeated the killer robot. In Uncanny X-Force, the pair were true teammates at last. However, even with this new relationship, Wolverine and Deadpool still butt heads constantly. Now, friends? Enemies? What is Wolverine and Deadpool's relationship in the Marvel Comics? Well, Wolverine and Deadpool were what we call frenemies. Sometimes they were literally trying to murder each other, and other times they seemed like best buds. Their first meetings were definitely adversarial, as seen in almost all of their encounters in the 90s. By 1999, the pair fought a group of werewolves together. Calling a truce, at the end of that story, Deadpool and Wolverine bonded over their mutual tortures at the hands of Weapon X program and shared a beer. This was the start of an awkward friendship. Eventually, Logan invited Wade to join X-Force, and for the first time, Deadpool and Wolverine were officially teammates, but they still came to blows sometimes. We'll likely see this dynamic come to life in the MCU's Deadpool and Wolverine. Now for one of the most intriguing questions. Who would win in a fight? With over a century and a half of his life and training behind him, Wolverine is likely the better fighter than Deadpool. Although the two have fought numerous times, it almost always ended in a stalemate. Wade Wilson's healing factor may have been derived from Logan's DNA, but he had a leg up on the adamantium clawed mutant. Deadpool literally can't die. Wade was cursed by Thanos with immortality because the Mad Titan was jealous of Deadpool's relationship with his beloved entity of death. So although Logan's healing factor made it very hard to kill him, Wolverine could actually die technically, but Deadpool not so much. Now that begs the question, who heals faster? Wolverine or Deadpool? Deadpool got his powers when Department K infused him with Wolverine's mutant DNA, yet his healing factor was ultimately superior to Logan's. Wolverine's healing factor can't regrow lost limbs. For example, Deadpool's healing factor allows him to regrow any lost and severed limb. Deadpool's healing factor even allows him to regrow his head. Wolverine's wounds do heal, but his powers stop short of recreating actual lost cells out of thin air. Deadpool has the superior healing factor in this regard. Probably much to Wolverine's annoyance, I bet it's a sore spot in their relationship. So with all this history between them being said, I'm pretty sure Hugh Jackman's Logan will fight Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool in Deadpool and Wolverine. Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds will meet again for the very first time in Deadpool and Wolverine. From what the trailer tells us, it looks like the Time Variance Authority sends Deadpool to a universe where Logan failed the X-Men in some significant way, almost certainly leading to their deaths. Logan's drowning his sorrow in a bar when Deadpool shows up to recruit him on a mission to save his own universe, possibly from being deleted entirely. The pair then end up in the void, the reality where the TVA dumps the remains of pruned timelines. We know that after they fight each other, they fight Cassandra Nova, Charles Xavier's evil twin. Aside from those facts, we know Logan and Deadpool will slice, stab, kick, and punch each other regardless of where they are in the multiverse. Some things remain constant as their ongoing history and relationship continues to unfold. I can't wait to see Deadpool and Wolverine, confirmed frenemies, take on the MCU. How about you? Can you guys wait? Well, I hope you guys are now all caught up, and I hope you have a fun time watching Deadpool and Wolverine in the theaters. Subscribe if you like this video, and comment if there's any other videos you would like me to make. You know, doing this YouTube thing is hard work, and it's head smacking to figure out new ideas, and plus, I would just really like to make something that y'all would like to watch. So thank you so much for the support, and in the meantime, I'm Icy Originals. I love y'all, and peace.